When you're seeing this video, I'm actually gonna be in Rotterdam for TwitchCon, and if you're anything like me and at all interested in houses or in architecture, then you've maybe heard about the cube houses in Rotterdam. These things are so weird, and I mean that in the most respectful, loving way possible. They are clearly a pretty weird shape, and they've got kind of weird layouts, and because of that, they've gone pretty viral online, so you might have seen these before. I hate to say it, but this is like my association with Rotterdam. When I hear about Rotterdam, I think about these buildings. There are so many cool things in that city. It's an amazing place, but this is what comes to mind first for me. Granted, I am a person who builds in The Sims every day, so houses in particular sort of hold a special place in my heart. I wanted to show you a couple of other angles of these because they really are so weird. This one looks like it's an angle kind of the opposite side of the building. You can see some of the doors and stuff. This one is kind of a zoomed out picture of them from afar, and you can kind of see what's around them in this picture. We've got another angle of them kind of lower down in this one as well. And lastly, this is a couple photos of one of the interiors of one of them, so you can kind of see how low the ceilings are and how weird the window placement is. I'm kind of feeling a little bit inspired by these houses, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, we can't recreate them specifically because we just can't do angles like that in The Sims 4. It's physically not possible, but we can do some kind of weird cube house that's slightly inspired by them, and that's what I want to do today. I think I'm gonna build it in Windenburg. I'm kind of tempted to do it on this lot in the corner because it's kind of by the water, like these houses are in real life, and I don't really know what I want this to look like yet. I kind of want to put it on a diagonal just as kind of like an ode to the weird shapes of this building. I think my initial vision is maybe to have like a collection of little squares. I don't know how that's gonna work exactly, but that was my first thought. I kind of want to try and build these up with different height platforms across the top. Well, and maybe this big one could be a total second floor instead. This was my initial thought. Something kind of like, oh my god, I can't delete that. Are you kidding? Build ceiling, remove ceiling. Okay, what is going on here? Well, listen, this might not be good. I might end up bulldozing it. I'm just throwing out some ideas. I'm just trying to, experiment. Sorry, I had to sit there and just look at it for a second because I realized it was pretty bad. Well, maybe this second cube is better off if it was just completely flat. We don't need to have a third cube, and we can make it a little bit bigger because this is still two weird cubes. It's still strange. Oh, this being diagonal is gonna, oh my god, I'm gonna regret this so bad when I try and figure out the floor plan. Oh no, oh, I've made a grave mistake. You can't have stairs on a diagonal, so it's really gonna complicate things when I try to move them around. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe this weird pointy bit could become a bathroom. And then I'm also kind of wondering, okay, ignore this particular flooring, okay? I'm just trying to think about ways that we could get a cool balcony or something. I think it might be good for us if that was a bit straighter. Oh wait, it probably has to be like here though, doesn't it? Oh dear God. Why did I decide to do this? Like, what am I doing right now? Why am I making this build? Okay, this could be a lofted bedroom though. Like, imagine for a second if there was a bed up here somehow. Obviously it's weird. We're gonna have to figure out something better, but we can have a cool lofted room downstairs. And this is maybe bad, I'm just again throwing out ideas. But downstairs I was actually kind of curious about putting the kitchen like this. I know it's really tight, I know, but then we could have a small dining room kind of tucked away right here. We can even fit bar stools at it. Oh well, maybe not. It's a little bit tight. We'll see, I might have to get a sim to come test it out. And then this could be the living room and like a formal entryway space. I could also even maybe extend this bathroom out a little bit if I really wanted to, because bigger is probably better for the bathroom because it's so weirdly shaped. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe this becomes an office instead of a bathroom because it's so big. We can make that work. I'll get like a really cool window situation. The bathroom can go in this little part. This will be the entryway, like the door. And then we have a genuinely decent sized living room right here. Like, it totally fits fine. We just gotta figure out how to make the outside look cool. As long as the interior is functional, I think it's all right. So I wanted to do that floor plan first and then kind of figure out the outside, but I'm feeling a bit better about this. We can kind of put the columns around the corners like this and then paint the roof white. And then I was envisioning that maybe, oh my god, this is a mess. Maybe there could be like a little bump out where the front door goes. Obviously we have medium wall height, so we're gonna wanna pick a kind of interesting door. I'm really tempted to use this. It's horrible because it doesn't come in plain white. It always has the blue tint on it, but I think that shape is kind of good for what we're going for. The only problem is that there are windows, but they only work on medium wall height. And I don't really want the second floor to be medium wall height. I guess it could be, but it kind of throws off the cube energy. The base game windows do come in blue. So if we really wanted to use them, we could put them out here. I think my only concern with this right now is just that I was kind of tempted to have the bright yellow on the outside. So having this blue kind of throws off my original plans, but it does look really good from the inside. I wasn't gonna use this fence, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. That was a placeholder fence inside. I can replace it so you don't have to look at it anymore. Okay, so I'm kind of envisioning myself having some sort of like interesting paneling right here. I wonder if there should be a balcony in the back that is more and more and more cube things. Possibly not in a good way either, but we'll see. It's gonna be fine. I think I might do the same thing with the door in the back. I might literally just like duplicate the front and the back right here. It's kind of hard to know where to put these things that won't be in the way. Also, annoyingly, this lot has me like jumping into the sky nonstop because it keeps putting me up here. Oh, what kind of door should we put on the balcony? Oh my God, this is so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. That's like kind of skinnier. I didn't really think it was gonna look like that. I don't know. I wish that the door got wide like the windows did. It's weird how the windows extend on diagonals, but this door doesn't. This is what I get for trying to build something super weird like this. Like there's a reason that I don't ever do weird builds, and it's because I'm not good at them. I think I'm gonna put the same windows on this side of the building, like over here. That looks so cool. The 2-story window. Oh my God. One thing I did not really think through was this issue with the paneling, because I would very much like to use it still, but now it's not as even as it was on the other side. I think that's fine. Unfortunately, it just does not look that good when you put it on diagonal. You see how it's not completely lined up? There's like a little bit wider of a gap in the middle, and I'm scared of alt placing it because I don't want to make it worse by accident. I'm looking at bits of plant now and trying to see if any of these would be cool. I don't know if they're modern enough, I think is my concern. I'm currently trying to look and see where I want to put landscaping too. I think we should have a fenced in yard, or at least like some sort of private backyard space. I also think it wouldn't be bad if we had a whole bunch of green space right here. It's almost like it's a cube itself surrounding the cube, and I think that's kind of cool. Oh, this little tile is a square. That's perfect. Okay, I'll use that. And then we can get teeny tiny half walls to fill in this area. I'll probably put plants in there. I think I'll leave this part as a yard, and we can have this small section be patio space. I know it's kind of a weird shape. I think that's okay. I actually feel like weird shapes are kind of the whole point of this, so it works. It's fine. First things first, I'm gonna put these little cube bushes down. I mean, it feels appropriate for the cube house, right? But I'll probably use these all around the exterior. I don't know what this looks like when you put it up against the diagonal, so I'm kind of scared to do it. I think I might just put them like that, and then maybe I could get some trees in this little part, because I could always size one of them down and we can kind of have them close to the building. That actually looks kind of good though, right? I think I'm gonna paint the whole thing white first, and then I might go through and try and get a couple accent colors to add in, or like accent textures maybe is a better way of putting it. The real cubes have paneling, they have brick, they almost have like a metal looking texture to them, just a little bit. I don't think that the metal looks very good when it's stacked though. It also mostly only comes in gray. I do have this white metal, but that's like more paneling. I don't want to have more paneling. I think it needs to be horizontal if it's going to be next to that. Maybe there could be metal on this side of the building, but even then, I don't know. We could try and have it have like a slight stone texture. It might even be cool if we had stone on one of them, so it was like slightly different from the other one. You can't even really see it back here because it's behind these windows. Yeah, maybe the bigger one is better for that, because then you can see a little bit of the stone bricks, but then a lot of it is plain solid white. We want, oh yikes, no. I want a plain white to put across the whole top of this. Most of this stuff is not plain white, which is kind of annoying. I mean, we have like the glowing white, but I don't think we should do that. There's also this light gray. It might not be so bad to have the gravel. I always use the gravel on roofs, but I don't hate it. I guess I always use it for a reason, and that's because I think it looks good. So I don't know how this is gonna look, but I'm kind of tempted to use this white paneling on our little fence. I feel like it's nice because it gives it a little bit more dimension, because there's like a line in the middle instead of it being one plain solid color. Oh, I might also get a couple windows over here. I know it's off center, but I think that's fine. Maybe I'll put a desk in front of it or something. The more the merrier with windows. I'm still feeling kind of unsure about this because I really wanted to use the yellow. I think that like going into this, I really wanted to have it be yellow everywhere, but now it's very blue because of the door, but I like the shape of the door a lot, so I don't really want to change it. And I don't really ever use these blue windows either, so maybe it's fine. And we could always do yellow inside. Like just because we have all this blue outside doesn't mean we can't have yellow inside because there's no blue in here. What happened to my window? What the heck? Don't delete yourself. You can't do that. I need that. I like those things. Okay, we have to be quite careful about the light placement because we can't really have that many in this big open area. I can scoot that over just a smidge. The inside just has such a neon yellow energy to it. And a lot of the yellow that we have in the game is not as neon. I wonder if I scoot that back. There's a little bit more space in the walkway then. Oh my God. What? Wait. Oh, the stoves don't fit. Do you see how there's a gap? Well, that's one way to make you want to cry. Please don't do that to me. I guess I can hang up one cabinet above this frit. Ugh. I don't even know if they can get into that corner. Okay, so this is the oven and stovetop from Dream Home Decorator. I think if the kitchen is organized like this, there should be no problem with it being fully functional. Oh boy. This does not want to work, does it? Okay, yikes. Yeah, this does not want to fit there either. Well, I guess we can't do cabinets, that's fine. But they should be able to use all of this still. I think I'm gonna paint a lot of the inside with that plain white color and then we'll get accents everywhere else. For example, I think I might even use this white paneling as an accent on this wall. I wasn't planning on putting these windows in the whole corner, but now I'm kind of thinking that it looks pretty cool in the corner, so maybe I should. And actually the less wall the better probably, because I don't know what else to put in this room. Oh, look at that. That's pretty yellow. It is kind of like yellow and orange, so I don't know if it's good or not, but it might be okay. Well, that comes in yellow too. This is very much giving Not So Very challenge. That wasn't my intention, but that's what's happening. Look at these weird metal chairs. That's so fun. I think I'm gonna use those. And there has to be some sort of cool yellow thing like this for the table. I actually like unironically really like how this is turning out. Like I think this is pretty cool. I think this part should be a bookshelf or like some kind of built-in situation because I think storage is nice. And then we'll have to have a door over here. Well, I was planning on putting the sofa right there, so I don't know how well it's gonna fit, but oh, that should be okay. All right, we'll have the door there. This can be a bedroom. I guess I said office originally. I don't know yet. It might be good for us to have a second bedroom though, because otherwise it's just one bedroom and that's kind of sad. And it's barely a bedroom. It's like a weird triangle loft. I don't know if you can call it a bedroom. Okay, you know what? This has some potential. This right here, this could work. I'm gonna use the cool TV. This is very skinny, so it like fits back there pretty nicely. I had to scoot it over. It was supposed to be like this, but I wanted to use this square rug, so I had to scoot it over a tiny bit, and now it's like slightly in front of the door. I think it's fine. I think it's mostly fine. I'm looking for something very big and decorative. I guess that might be okay. Kind of considering putting solid yellow on this back wall as well. Like if I'm being honest, I might even do something like that, but I think we just need a really vibrant accent wall. I don't know what that entails for me. I'm okay with something like that. I might even be okay with using it over here, if I'm being honest. It's all very different shades of yellow though, is the problem. This big plant might actually be really good to fill in this area, because this way it doesn't look as off-center. We can kind of cover it up on purpose, and that I think makes for a really beautiful living room. I really like that. Actually, super tempted to use this metal wall right here. I don't know if it's bad or not. It might be bad. Maybe it could go right here. That feels bad. Like it kind of feels like something I shouldn't be doing because there's a lot of color happening in here, but I don't know. We could do a plain tile behind the kitchen. Let's just commit to it. Like, why not? When else can you do stuff like that? Well, I mean, I guess you could do it anytime, right? But that doesn't mean that I personally always would do it anytime. Yeah, plants are helpful. We've got some cute clutter in there now. I'm worried about putting too much because I don't want to block off the windows. I also don't really know what to use inside of this bathroom because there is tile. I might use this plain herringbone tile. I don't know if there's a yellow tile floor though. Well, there is, but it doesn't mean I want to use it. I also think that this house, the whole vibe of this place, I think would probably really benefit from like a polished concrete kind of situation. Like even if we did that for all of the flooring, I don't think that would be so bad, but I kind of like the warmth of the wood for now. There is yellow. It's just not really what I would personally seek out. It's not really my personal first choice. You know what we could do is have white tile everywhere because we have this like white sort of cube tile, if you will. Because if we made the bathroom all white inside, I actually don't really think that's that bad. It matches the exterior. The exterior is all white with yellow accents. It's actually kind of cozy in there. Like, I think that looks kind of nice. One slight problem now is that we have to figure out how to reorganize this whole entryway space, because I haven't really decided what's gonna go here. I did think about a keyboard. However, this does not come in yellow, so therefore it's kind of out. We also talked about putting a desk. That's if I don't end up putting a second bedroom in here, but I think that a second bedroom is probably for the best anyway, so maybe I should. I know that this bookshelf comes in yellow, so we could definitely use that. I also put this little poof right next to the desk. I don't know if it's bad or not. I was just trying something. And I think that we would probably benefit from having a small little table and maybe a mirror or something in the entryway. They have yellow lamps, so we could do that. I wonder if the everyday clutter kit has anything yellow, because I don't really ever remember. Oh, it's kind of green, but we could do the phone. There are yellow headphones, so we could put those. And maybe I could put a shoe or two underneath this. Makes it look like someone actually lives there. I always have such a problem with like overdoing it and wanting to fill in this whole space. Like, I would sit here and put furniture everywhere, so it's basically non-walkable. But I know I shouldn't do that. I know we should leave it so you can actually get through. I think I may even steal some of this, because I almost think that closing it off makes it look a bit better. I know the room is a bit smaller, but I think sometimes smaller is a good thing. We can kind of have a built-in dresser. I know that's kind of ugly, but again, when else can I use this? I think that I should. I really think that I should. I really feel that this is our time to shine with some of this wacky stuff, so I'm gonna try so hard to use it. I don't like any of these rugs. Oh god. Oh, that's actually really nice. That doesn't work. Never mind. I wonder if that works. That's probably a bit tight, right? Maybe not. I do have a toy box, and we can get some silly little yellow toys right next to it. Okay, I'll admit that I may have gone a bit overboard in this room, but it's kind of fun. So I think I'll leave that there. And then that just leaves us with the upstairs. Well, the upstairs and then the whole exterior. But that's fine. We'll figure it out. I think upstairs, I want to have a big rug. This one kind of works with our cube energy. I'm also tempted to use this one. Both are good. It kind of depends what the bed ends up being. I guess I'll just go from there once I pick it. This maybe is good then, because I want to have the bed up against the wall. I don't know if that's like the smartest thing, but I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't really want to orient it like this. Like, I kind of want to embrace the triangle nature of it all. I think I'm gonna get myself a nice combo of Dream Home Decorator and Tiny Living to use in this area. We've got kind of like a dressing room almost right when you come up the stairs. I think I'll put a plant kind of tucked away in that corner, because it's hard to use it anyway, so we can just kind of shove something there to block it off. I'm actually quite tempted to have some pets, because we could have little dog bowls right there. There are yellow cat trees. They are the wrong kind of cat tree. But we could put like a little egg bed and the dog can sleep over there. I know I just used this downstairs. Super tempted to use it again upstairs though, because I like how much space it takes up. And then basically any kind of yellow chair. Oh my god. I've been using these ottomans like everywhere recently. I'm like on a real ottoman kick. I think I might put these in. And then if we could get a nice big yellow picture, just some sort of colorful, pretty art print or something to go right here. I like these, but I don't like how it's a rectangle. This might actually not be so bad, to be honest. It's kind of golden. My initial thought was that I was gonna need to put some skill building items up here. Like, I entered this area thinking, oh, we'll get, you know, an easel. And I ended up putting a bookshelf and a couple of ottomans, which is less useful. I do like how it looks though. I think it's a very cozy looking upstairs bedroom. And we do have this outside space. There's not a lot of it, but we do have some outside space. So I could put like maybe a telescope up here. That fits. They can use that still. Comes in yellow. I don't think I'll do that outside. We can get it in a nice plain color though. Yeah, that's the thing. The outside is not yellow at all. So we almost don't want to overdo it with that stuff. This might be good somewhere downstairs. We could have a little orange tree. That could be cute. I do want to get a big grill. And I think I'd like to have a table of some sort. Oh, wait a minute. We could get like a built-in kitchen set up back here. Imagine if I had the counters like that. We could maybe even have a pool if we really wanted to. We could definitely get a hot tub at least. I do like how this table kind of matches the windows. And actually the chairs that I used inside, these are like metal chairs. I realized that putting metal chairs outside is probably not the smartest thing in the world, but they do match the metal on the table, so I might do it anyway. I don't know if I want a hot tub. I kind of like it just being grass. My initial plan was definitely to get a hot tub, but I kind of like how it's open area for your Sims to play around in. I think if I did a hot tub, I would probably pave the whole thing, and I don't really want to do that. We need a couple of extra things like a trash can outside, and then I think we would really benefit from putting some more trees. It's very simple on purpose, but I think it needs something to fill in the rest of the area. Like honestly, if we had a big oak tree back here, just kind of tucked away in the grass section that we have, it needs greenery. I'm trying to have really simple landscaping on purpose. I don't know if it looks bad or not. Maybe we could have a garden in the back because that helps take up some more space. They could have some nice planter boxes or something. And then in the front, I don't know if I want to put any flowers in there. I was thinking about putting a fake carport or something too, but even then I don't really know if I should. I think I might just want to leave it. Maybe they could have a bike. You see, look at that. Somebody lives here. They bike around. And we can get a mailbox to put in the front a little bit too. Probably want to put that close to right here, right? Okay, I think it might be done. Maybe just a little bit of terrain paint and then we'll say it's over. Obviously this is not, it's not an exact recreation of the pictures that we were looking at. We never set out to make a recreation. I was mostly just setting out to try and build something inspired by them. And I think that this is adequately inspired by those pictures. It is definitely a goofy looking house. It's kind of weird in a fun way. I don't normally build stuff like this. It is clearly very much out of my comfort zone, but I think it turned out kind of fun. This is what the outside looks like. And then on the inside, we have a nice entryway, a small living room, one bathroom. There's a bedroom downstairs, and then we have a little dining room, a very little kitchen. I was worried about putting anything on these cabinets. I didn't even put like any clutter in here. I might block that off so they can't use it. They should. Oh, wait a minute. I was gonna say they should be able to use this counter to cook, but actually I don't think that they can. In hindsight, we might want to get them a couple extra counters. Either that or they have no sink in the kitchen. Maybe, what, hold on. Maybe they have no kitchen sink. Oh wait, they have no kitchen sink because they have a money trash can. So they don't want you to wash your dishes. They want you to sell your dishes. That's the reason. It's because of the trash can. Okay, hold on. I've decided to add a couple of things into the kitchen. I'm gonna do a little shelf right here. It's quite high up, but I think this is good because it makes the kitchen look a little bit more lived in, like people actually live and use this place. And they still have no sink, but they're not getting one. They're not allowed to have a sink, sorry. You can use the bathroom sink or something. The build's bad, but I did my best for the weird shape that I had, okay? And it looks kind of cool. Look at it from the gallery, that's fun. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. This is what I get for trying to use diagonals. The diagonals result in no sink. I'm gonna upload it to the gallery in case you want to download it. I'm sorry. I did my best. I think it was fun to build though. It was definitely weird in a fun way. It was an interesting challenge. My name is just lilsimsie on the gallery if you're looking for it. And I think I'm uploading this on the first day of TwitchCon. So if you're here in Rotterdam for the convention, hopefully I will see you there. Thank you for watching this video. If you like Sims builds like this, I do a ton of them here on my YouTube channel. They usually have kitchen sinks. I swear, I'll link one here on the end card for you, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Also, you can tell that I'm pre-recording because I'm gonna get a haircut tomorrow, so my hair is gonna be changing lengths between videos. It'll be shorter one day, longer the next. You can tell I'm making the videos out of order.